also altered by
Well.
at least a half hour to 40 minutes.
How long?
Kenny and I were in a pretty interesting accident this morning. I call it significant, but I don't know. Kenny's like such a robot, like nothing phases this guy. It's amazing. I was just telling Anthony before we cracked the mics, it's so strange. I wake up at 4:40 in the morning, and at 4:58, 4:59, we're in this accident where Kenny slams into this guy that just runs a red light here in Manhattan.
Kenny drinking again behind the wheel?
Yeah, he's just sauced.
And I learned a lot of things about accidents today. It's just amazing.
They go boom?
Well, first of all, we're just talking about crap, talking about Jimmy and his trip to Chicago. No big deal. Next thing you know, I'm like, this is not happening. It's all happening in slow motion. There's a car right in front of us, and we're going at a pretty good clip. And Kenny's reflex is pretty amazing. He jams on the brakes, locks them up, and I think we're going to get out of it without a hit. And then all of a sudden, bam!
I can't apologize enough to you for the trauma that I caused.
Oh, my God, here he goes.
And I got to be honest with you, just recently, Kenny and I were talking about seatbelts, and both of us don't wear seatbelts.
Why?
Our logic is, what could possibly happen between picking me up and going to work? The drive is only, 15, 17 blocks, something like that.
You gotta strap in.
I'm one of these guys, you're around town doing errands, no seatbelt, but if you're on the highway and driving longer distances, then you put the seatbelt on.
No.
Now that type of accident would have caused you more injury with a seatbelt.
Oh,
No.
all right.
I like the argument.
Kenny.
I like this.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know about that, Kenny.
He would have got a seatbelt burn. It would have. It was very low impact. The airbags didn't even deploy.
Did you hit your head?
On the windshield.
Enough said.
Let's just
Not-
say you
I
had
don't
gone
think
forward
hard,
like
but-
an inch or a foot down. You had jerked down a little bit. You could have lost your upper row of teeth, which you wouldn't if you had a seatbelt. Like, it's not like you're going to be killed in an accident like that.
Well-
You could right now be in the hospital with 3 original teeth left and the rest of them on the dashboard.
I'm kidding. I'll collect
teeth
up
today.
your teeth, GH.
You want me to brush them before I bring them in so there's no blood on them?
So then we hit this guy pretty good, and what amazes me is, we were going through greens. He went through a red. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So what kind of car was he driving, Kenny? I was trying to describe to the guys, like a Corolla, like a Honda.
A little Honda Civic, a typical minority car.
So I said immediately, I went, Hispanic guy.
Right, exactly.
And Ope goes, yeah. But you could tell by the car. If it's like a little Honda, did it have a spoiler on the back?
Yeah, he had the fake rims. And,
Yeah.
It was all souped up.
They call those cars rice.
Yeah.
It was souped up.
Rice car.
And so Kenny hits him pretty good. I mean, the guy is not driving home.
Yeah, his car, right in the front axle, so his front wheel is bent.
His wheels are bent at like a
Classic.
45-degree angle. And all of a sudden, we're sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. This just happened, right? And all of a sudden, the guy jumps out of the car aggressively and goes right after Kenny. Not pushing him or anything, but right in his face, like, you got to be kidding me, dude. You got to be kidding me. You messed up my ass. You messed up my ass. And I'm looking at this guy like, this is not happening. You so went through this red light.
Yeah.
It's not even a doubt in my mind that this guy, didn't go through the red light. Yeah. And then he didn't even say that we went through a red light. He was saying stuff like, "Man, you could have stopped in time. You could have stopped. You hit me. You couldn't stop."
Here's something that happens in Manhattan that it doesn't happen anywhere else, or in few cities, I would gather, especially early in the morning. The streets are pretty empty. A few cars around. You see a row of lights as far as you can see. They're just like lights, green or all red or changing.
Right.
The lights are timed. And for me, my speed is 20 miles an hour. Once I leave the tunnel, I hit 3rd Avenue, and the lights are red.
Right.
But they're turning green.
As you go.
As I go. So I do 20, and then by the time I get close to the light, boom, it's green. And I go through that green. The next light is red, boom, turns green.
Yeah.
And you can keep a steady pace.
Oh, yeah, I
as
understand
the
that.
lights are turning green. A lot of people, though, outside the area can't have no concept of this. There are people, though, that will blow through the red light. Or before the light turns green, They're going too fast for the timing, and they'll skate through the red and be in the middle or through the intersection by the time it turns green.
Right.
So in essence, they're blowing the red light. You know, and that is something you cannot do because the other people coming the other way are playing the same game.
But
they're doing the wait for the green and zooming through. It's very tight.
That's all well and good, but this was Broadway with a pretty wide medium. I mean, the guy just flat out went through a red light. I think, Kenny, weren't we behind on greens? We were like one behind.
Yeah,
meaning there was another green.
Oh, so you were well within the green.
Oh yeah, we weren't playing the light is changing as we're going through the.
Right. I drive so cautious because I have such precious cargo in the vehicle.
Shut up!
Precious cargo.
Shut up! So the guy jumps out, and then his buddy jumps out, and then I'm like, wow, this is going to turn into a pretty big problem because the guy is really aggressive.
Yeah.
And he's being aggressive knowing that he ran the red light.
Kenny, were you standing there or were you still sitting in the car?
No, I got out. Kenny, well, first I had to make sure. My priority was to make sure GH was okay.
Of course.
You know, I even, you know how you put the instinctively, you put the arm out?
Did you put the dad arm out?
Yeah.
It's the dad arm.
I call it the mom arm, but yeah. I do the mom arm.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, so I get out. You know, he gets out. He's like 5'0"
With one of those like Justin Timberlake hats on, like just slightly askew.
Ugh.
Obviously coming home from a club. It's so obvious these guys are coming home from a club.
You're either going to. Everybody at that hour is either going to do their job in morning radio or they've been drinking.
Well, we joke about it all the time. I've caught many couples having sex in cars in my old neighborhood. You see the walk of shame. These girls just stumbling down the street in high heels, like they can't even walk a straight line anymore, going back to their apartments. We see all this fun stuff because we get up at a weird hour. So the guy is like aggressively with his arms in the air. You messed up my ass. You messed up my ass. Ah, and I just got it fixed.
Yeah,
got it fixed. Well, that tells you something right there.
Yeah.
So. And then two club girls come stumbling out. I'm like, oh, boy, if this isn't obvious.
Was that music just blaring from the car?
But I'm like, boy, if this isn't obvious, you know, they're possibly drunk coming home from a club. I have no idea if the driver was drunk.
So wait, he showboating in front of the girls? Like, because he had an accident, he's probably embarrassed.
Probably.
Right.
So he's got to act
right.
Was he threatening to you or just?
Nah, he's just like, dude, you know, you went through the red light. Why'd you hit me? What, you could have stopped. You know, he's just running his mouth. He's a little.
And then a fake gangster jumps out of the car. I'm like, what is going on here?
Another poser.
But you could tell he was just kind of like a fake gangster, just wearing the clothes. I'm like,
yeah,
all right, we're all right. And then Kenny calls the cops. They show up, and the whole time this guy's mouthing off like, I can't believe it. You messed up my ass. I can't believe you hit me. All pissed off at us. And then all of a sudden, Kenny, I guess, told one of the cops, can I say what you just told him? The M?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kenny just, you know. Just said, I'm MOS, member of society.
Service,
sorry. Well, I'm not,
Yeah.
And also one of the
member of society doesn't quite fit Kenny.
No, there you go.
Yeah, I'm just a guest. I'm a member.
Outcast of society.
So then one of the girls, like, kind of dressed like a hoochie, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, man, he's MOS. Damn.
And they knew what that meant?
That's what I was saying. Thank you, Anthony. I don't know. See, I got it wrong, and I'm with Kenny every day. I said member of society. They knew what MOS was.
Maybe they thought he meant master of stupidity.
And I don't understand how Kenny keeps it together because this guy is, you know, all in his face, and Kenny is as stoic, making believe he doesn't even hear him, just staring and ignoring him and looking at his damage of his car and just going about his business.
Because Kenny doesn't have any fear of that guy. That guy is no.
I understand.
Like, you just squash him like an insect.
But it's not even it's not even that Kenny. I don't even question that. I understand Kenny doesn't have, isn't scared of the guy. But I thought Kenny would throw a few shots in, but it doesn't even affect him on emotional levels. What I'm getting at, he wasn't scared of him. That's why Kenny wasn't, piping up.
It's just a nuisance thing.
So then, the driver who was like, screaming, yelling at us because we messed up his ass, he goes, "Yeah, well, I have ID too." And he's walking around like pulling his wallet out, trying to find some imaginary ID. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here?
Yeah. Well, it turns out he's in the military, so maybe he can go to the show for free this weekend with his military ID.
There you go. All right.
In Mansfield, because that's what's happening.
Because then he started yelling at me, "I serve my country. What are you doing?" He's like yelling that to me.
One of those things.
He probably drove a tank into his own convoy.
Yeah. So, the cops come, they have to take the report, and it's just a nuisance job for them, too. And then they have to write it up. Driver 1 says the other guy went through the red light. Driver 2 says, the other guy went through the red light.
And you didn't go through the red light.
And that's what amazes me. I that's tough to live with because it's so obvious this guy went through the red. And I know you're hearing our side of the story, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because, it is what it is now.
Now your insurance is going to go up.
We were going through greens at a pretty good clip, and this guy cut right in front of us, and that's it. He went through a red light.
Is that a no-fault accident because there's no witnesses other than you guys and them? Like, they'll say one thing, you'll say another, and there's technically no...
And that sucks. All four got together and said, look, he went through a red. And obviously we're saying he went through a red.
Right.
So and that's it.
The insurance companies work it out amongst themselves.
Yeah.
They just, the insurance companies just...
They got a whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, what a weird way to start a day, man. I mean, not even awake 18 minutes and you're in this,
A little bit of an accident.
You get squished up against a windshield and you're like, wow. And it could have been a lot worse. Kenny, man, your reflexes are good, I got to tell you. And I'm so glad you drive a tank.
Yeah.
Just
that
like
big foot just hitting the brake pedal.
Oh, my God.
Willie. Just this big Herman Munster foot slamming on the brakes of Dragula. Grandpa.
Barely a scratch. Well, you lost your bumper for the most part, but besides
I'll
that,
need a new bumper. That's all, because they're all plastic now. These cars.
You drive a car like your personality, man. Very just
dull.
Just
dull.
Just
what, dry?
Yeah, just I don't know.
Just a big
rock
lumbering
hard
thing.
Yeah. Lumbering thing that has no emotion.
I'm just sorry you had.
It loses its bumper and goes, oh well.
You have to focus on being, bright and cheery and entertaining, and that was no way for you to start your day. And I'm sorry about that.
Precious cargo.
Yeah, the precious cargo that he had.
So you left and they're waiting for a tow truck?
Yeah.
Good. Well, you got that.
Yeah.
But now your insurance goes up because this guy blew a red light with his his buddy and the two chicks coming home from a club. That's wonderful. And they didn't even check him?
Nah.
Why? No. What's protocol on that?
He's
got to show
NYPD.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
NYPD always does a terrific job. So if there was any inclination that there was any, something awry, they would have taken the proper action because they always do.
Dude, we support the NYPD. I'm just wondering what protocol is. Like, he didn't have any signs that he was...
Well, if there was a fatality, they would obviously have him checked. But in an accident like this, it's like they look at him, they see if he's slurring or walking funny, and if not, you're free to go.
Yeah, in all fairness, I didn't see any of that. I was hoping I saw some of that.
Yeah.
Were the chicks fat?
Yeah, they were wearing clothes they had no business being in, like just blubber spilling out.
The tight tube tops with their bellies hanging out.
They didn't hit their stomachs, though, and maybe it started swelling. Was that it? No,
their stomachs
were hot, and they started swelling up.
Their stomachs were like airbags for them.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right, why don't we take a break, and we're gonna reset.
I almost wanted this to happen.
Why?
Chris wasn't funny on Opie. He was very interesting. It was a great interview.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really funny. He was just talking about pedophiles.
Yeah.
He had a couple of good lines.
Yeah, but for a pedophile, that's probably hilarious.
Hysterical.
Right, that's...
Pedophile talk.
Chris is their Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Kenny, what do you got?
Well, you guys shouldn't feel bad about that because you're so entertaining. You have a wide, diverse audience because you're so popular and well-liked.
The Wall Street professional all the way down to the pedophile.
Yeah.
You guys can't help it that you're that good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny.
You guys want to hear some more from this guy?
I thought you were going to say throw up after hearing that.
No kidding.
Certainly.
Well, we can't avoid it. Everyone's talking about it today.
Yeah.
My phone, like I said, was ringing off the hook. Your phone was...
I meant Kenny.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, the pedophile audio is fine. It's just when
that.
he tries to say nice things.
They don't go...
I know.
Who gets silent party
Where'd you get
favors?
these? The party favors for... This is like a parties for deaf people store?
Yeah.
It's all colors and no noise?
Yeah.
What? What?
Maybe Tom got him because he didn't want him to be that much fun.
Just a little bit of fun.
I don't know. I don't look at the boss that way. I'm grateful we have a job.
Tom didn't even know it was his birthday.
He did. He came in and he said, "Is it your birthday today?"
Well, because he was listening to the radio.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.